How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called MF Farms. And we're going to start with the description from the Mod Hub, and it reads, Welcome to MF Map. This map is based on real terrain near the city of Lowry in Minnesota. On the map you will find 24 fields from small to big, 41 farmlands, 1 small forestry site, main farm with starting vehicles and equipment, BGA, traffic, pedestrians, custom crop calendar, train that will take your goods to Glenwood, train sell point. Productions available, sawmill, dairy, corn dryer, which is part of your silo system on the main farm. That will dry your corn into dry corn, which you will be able to sell or send to the grain mill to produce fine corn flour, and which you will be able to sell or use in the local bakery. To dry the corn, you will need propane gas, which you can buy at the gas station. Grain mill that will take your corn, durum, and rye and produce corn flour, durum flour, and rye flour. Bakery with new products: cornbread, sweet cornbread, pumpkin pie, apple pie, pasta, and rye bread. Placeable greenhouses with new fruits: pumpkins, lemons, orange, apples, and pineapple. Placeable juice factory with products: apple juice, lemonade, orange juice, pineapple juice. Added 2 liquid trailers to transport propane, and you will find it in the miscellaneous categories. Selling station are grain sell point, shop will take your production goods, bale sell point, train sell point, selling station 2 will take your root crops, seed silo where you can replenish your reserve seeds, fertilizer, and lime. Additional items on the map include soybeans will grow in rows and produce straw. New crops are rye and durum wheat. Change the weather conditions a bit so winters will be with lots of snow. During the snowfall, the roads will change its texture to the snow road texture. Treasure hunt. There are no mods required for this map. This map was created by Mapper's Paradise, Celobuki, and TheSuBBie. And this map is... Oh, and that's something I didn't record. It is 667.21 megabytes to download. If we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. You start out here on your main starting farm, just a little bit off to the east of the center point of the map. You are able to buy all areas of the map. As you can see, you start out with farmlands number 8, 10, and 16. 8 being a field with no product in it, 10 being a wheat field ready to harvest, and 16 being a small wheat field that is ready to harvest, and your main starting farm. We scroll down to the animal pages. There are no animals to start out with. Contracts are available on this map, and because you get big fields, you get big payouts. Productions are available to start out with. You do have the silo system, which includes your corn dryer, and it's also a silo itself. It's kind of a hybrid between productions and a silo system. I'll explain that here in just a little bit. And you do get collectibles on this map, 1 collectible to be precise. Now if we take a look at mods specific to this map, starting out on the buy menu, scrolling down to the mods and DLCs, you'll see MF Farms here. And these are the tankers that are specific to this map. And this is one part of the silo system that you're going to need in order to produce dry corn. This will hold your propane gas. Now, taking a look at the build menu, starting under buildings and sheds, scroll out to the right, you'll see mods specific to this map with them tagged with the MF Farms mod. Those are ones that are specific to this map. Under silos, we do have one under here. Under silo extensions, nothing under this tab. Under containers, scroll out to the right, you'll see one that is here, the seed silo. Under tools, you'll see also MF Workshop. And lastly, under farmhouses, we do have a couple here as well. Under productions, we scroll out to the right, you'll see we do have a couple of mods specific to this map on this tab. Under selling points, you'll also see mods specific to this map. And then under greenhouses, we do have a greenhouse that is specific to this map. Nothing under orchards or generators. Nothing at all is specific to this map under the tab animals. Under decorations, nothing under fences, nothing under lights. But under others, you will see a couple of decorations here specific to this map. And then there is absolutely nothing under the landscaping tab. So because we start here at our starting farm, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. Under the buy menu, and owned items. Under large tractors, we have a John Deere 8RT 410 and a AR 210 or 280. Under trucks, we have the Mack Pinnacle 6x4 MP7 425. Under harvesters, the John Deere T560. Under crop protection, the Hardy Rubicon 9000. Trailers, a Load King Distinction Triple Hopper. Header for our John Deere, the HD 45X. Corn headers, the John Deere C16F. Cultivators, the Vaderstadt NZ Extreme 1425. Under seeders, the Amazon Satan 15001C. Under planters, the John Deere 1775 NT. Under fertilizer spreaders, the Amazon ZGTS 10001. And the header trailers, the Nardi N7040. And that is all the equipment to start out with. Now we take a look at our starting farm. Starting over here, just inside the doorway here, we have a repair trigger. Inside the barn, you'll see, and the kind of repair trigger zone is right over in this area. As you can see, the tractor's parked right there, and it's picking that up quite well. Over here is our silo, but it's also a production point. So, gonna elaborate on this for just a little bit. So, this is a production. Technically, it's a production, but input and output are both done here. You can see the output spot here. Input spot is the grate. Now, you can use this as just a regular silo. If you want to do that, leave this alone. Don't come in here. Don't touch anything. There's no need to come in here if all you want is a silo. But if you want to make dried corn, which is the only production point that's worth doing in this one, otherwise you're just kind of turning these on just to turn on. It doesn't cost you anything. This is the only one that costs you anything. So you can turn these on if you want. The wheat, maize, barley, canola, sunflower, soybeans, oats, and sorghum. You can turn them on. It's not going to cost you anything. It's not going to hurt anything. But this one here is the only one that is going to be worth anything to turn on. Now, if you turn that on, what you're going to need, as you saw, you're going to need corn and you're going to need propane. Corn will go in here, and then the propane will go all the way over there in that corner there. As soon as you put that in, turn that on, you'll start producing the dry corn, and there you go. You'll be able to get out of the output the dry corn. So, like I said, basically, for the most part, it's just a silo. But for corn, if you want to make dry corn and use it for further productions, you can do that as well. Now, last thing on the farm is right over here. We have a sleep trigger right up here, as you can see. Now, as it was mentioned in the description there, it mentioned at the very bottom that there is a treasure hunt. As you can see, bonus cash, get to Skull Island, and here you'll find the clue. You'll need to find the money. So you start here and you make your way around finding these signs and billboards to be able to get all the information you need to find where the collectible is. So we are going to continue on the tour. I'm not going to go ahead and display where the final point is for the collectible. That is not something I typically will do. So we will head out here. We'll start out by making a left. And we will go straight. You can see the driveway that is right in front of us. That is our neighbor's farm. And we are going to go ahead and stop there. This will be farm number 2. Farm number 1 being our main starting farm. Now we start here. If we take a look at the map, we were right here and came straight down to this portion of the map here. Farmland number 17 can be purchased for $51,232. Go ahead and purchase that. And now we have access to the pig farm. You can see we have a manure heap right over here and our pig barn. Now, this is a technical pig barn, not a pig pasture. The reason it is considered a pig barn and not a pasture is it doesn't require water and you can get manure out of it. So, room for 150 pigs. Feed goes here. Straw can also be blown into the pen just like so. And something also just dawned on me. I think this is the output for slurry. Now that I'm kind of thinking about it, because slurry is a thing here, but I don't see an actual... Yeah, there is slurry, but there is no designated slurry spout that I see. Let me just double check. You know, no designated slurry spot. So I'm presuming that slurry is either this one, and I'm presuming, yeah, so this is the manure heap one. I'm presuming that this will be the slurry output. Let's go ahead and grab our truck. We'll go ahead and turn around. We'll just cut through the hill right here. And here we'll make a right. And now coming up here to my left is our next point of interest. To my left, that is the livestock bale sell point right there. And over here, we have the animal dealer. Now, you can come to this location and use this icon directly, or you can go to your pens and pastures and use that icon also directly to purchase your animals. Now, if you do that, though, you will not only be charged the base price for the animal, but you'll also be charged a delivery fee. An additional fee is included. Now, the reason that is the animal dealer is taking the animals from this location and delivering them for you. Now, if you want to save that money, you can take an animal trailer, bring it to this location, park it in the hazard box right in here, and then click onto the icon, and you'll be able to then buy the animals, load it into the trailer, and then deliver the trailer to the pens and pastures that you want to deliver it to. Now, just to kind of illustrate, it does get really expensive. Now, you can see we have pigs. That's the only thing we have available to us. For a baby pig, it's $30 per pig. For a baby pig, for an adult pig, you get $50 per pig. That adds up really quick. For 60 pigs, you have $3,000. If you double that, $6,000. It's a lot of money, especially when you're first starting out. So might want to consider how to figure out how to get a trailer, especially if you intend on doing a lot of animals. So now, I'm going to go ahead and turn around, and we're going to backtrack all the way past our starting farm. So we got a little bit of a drive to do. We're going to slow down, make a left. And then we're going to follow this out and around all the way to the very northern portion of the map where we start getting into town. Passing by the main starting farm. You can see some really massive fields on this map. There are tons and tons of acreage in some of these fields. You can see this one that we're passing by our left here. This one's a massive one. We even start out with a couple of very large starting fields. It's huge. One thing I didn't do, and I forgot to do, when we get to our next point of interest, I'll stop, show off where we've been, and then I will show the prices per the fields, because I completely forgot to show that. So now coming over here, this intersection, will make a right. And right here, we'll come to a stop. Right here. So we were here at farm number 2, came out and around down to the bale sale, the livestock bale sell point, as well as the animal dealer. We then came back up and around over to this area to right here. So wanted to take a look at these prices for the fields because it does vary, but it's very much in line with the size of the fields. So one of the smaller fields here, $48,000. That's not a bad price for a starting field, especially when you consider you get these as your starting fields. This one already has wheat, this one as well. So you got a good amount of product right off the bat. So go over to farmland number 3 here, 99,000. You've got 146,000, 99,000, 165, 111, 577,000. Now we're starting to get into the bigger fields. 286,000, 243,000, 194, Now getting into some of the really big ones, 588, 534, a couple grass fields here at 516, as well as 562. So adds up pretty quickly. You do get one small forest area up here in the northwest corner of the map, $116,000 for that. You also can use this one for forestry as well, $103,000, but you get significantly less area. Now over there is the gas station. Now, this is the area where you can not only buy diesel, but you can also buy the propane for your corn dryer. Now, one thing I'm going to say is be very, very careful about the trailers that you bring over here. If you have mods loaded into your map, you will want to pay attention to make sure that that trailer doesn't necessarily have diesel as well as the propane. So if you look at your mods and DLCs, like I mentioned before, you'll see you have a couple of trailers here that are specific to this map. I would recommend using these specific trailers. The reason why is that if you just so happen to have a mod that will take the propane that is specific to this map, as well as diesel, you might be rolling a dice as to whether or not you're going to be able to get one or the other. I was able to take a trailer, park it right under the awning here, and I was able to get propane from underneath this awning, and I would be worried that if you park under here and try to have a trailer that could accept both, possibly you're going to be able to get one or the other and not be able to select. So just use caution. My recommendation is to buy the trailers that are specific to this map. Now, heading out here, you can see out in that little corner right over there, right next to the building there, you'll have a rent train trigger right over there. Over here to my right, we have the sawmill. We'll pull in right here. I'll stop here. Can purchase this for $100,000. And we have our output here, our wood chip output here, and our input for our product is right here with a wood cell trigger over there. Now heading across the street over here. We have the bakery. Now I will buy this. It's $50,000 to purchase. And the reason I'm buying it is, check it out. Not only can we make bread and cake, we're used to seeing those, but we're also able to make sweet cornbread, apple pie, pumpkin pie, cornbread, pasta, and rye bread. All of these various different outputs are specific to this map. Very, very nice. Around the back side here, we have our output, and input is right over here. Right next door, you'll see another sell point. That is the shop sell point. Now hopping back into the truck, heading down the street just a little ways. Coming up here to my left is the dairy. We'll stop right here. Can purchase this for $70,000. Input here and output is around the back side right over here. Let's grab the truck. Oh, just kind of drifted off. Now here we'll make a left, go across the tracks. You can see you do get hung up on these because the track is lifted there. That might need to be addressed. That might need to be fixed. I'm not 100% certain if that's something that's intended to be that way. Right here we have an input and an output for our production point for the grain mill. $96,000 to purchase the grain mill. And I will purchase that as well because not only can we do flour, just regular flour, which we're used to using wheat, barley, oats, and sorghum, but we can also make fine corn flour from our dried corn. We can also make corn flour, normal corn flour, with our regular corn, durum flour, and rye flour. So very, very nice. We'll go ahead and turn back around out the driveway. There we go. Now, the reason I say that that's something that might need to be fixed, that might be addressed, is because pulling in right next door, I don't have that issue. You come up this driveway now, you can see you have a nice little crossing plate right there, so no worry whatsoever. Over here, we have the shop area. Open the door right there, enter, shop trigger is right here, and repair trigger, come in the delivery area right here. Way back here is the trigger for it, like so, but the area to park your vehicles for it is back here. So let's go ahead and run back out. Right in front of me is the grain sell point. Back here, we have our train silo directly in front of me. To the right of that bin is the output for the train silo for the trailers. Input is right over here from trailers. And then around the back side on the track there is the input and output for the train to load onto it. Now, come over here. We're all done with the kind of town area. We'll go back across the street, backtrack just a little ways. And now, we'll head down this way. If we continue down, coming up here to our right is our next point of interest, and a kind of sort of interest coming up on the left. I'll point it out only because of it's kind of a placeable area. So to my right is a sell point. This is the root crop sell point. To my left is the placeable area right here. You can see it's got all this decoration, which is really, really nice. Now, you can purchase the land. If we take a look at the map, we were right here on the map. We saw the gas station, went across the street to rent train trigger, over to the sawmill, then up to the bakery, over to the shop sell point, then over to the dairy, up and over to the grain mill, back and around to the shop and repair triggers, over to the grain sell point, then over to the railroad storage silo, so the train silo, then came back around, over and around to this area here where we saw the root crop sell point, and then this area here, again, is a kind of placeable area. You can purchase this farmland for $27,352, and if you purchase it, you'll then be able to go into the build menu, click on it, or using the demolish feature once you own it, and you'll be able to sell this stuff off, and everything will clear out of here, and you will then be able to place down whatever it is that you want. So now coming around, make a left, whoops. Following this around to this driveway right here, we'll hop out. This is the seed silo. Open up the gate. Now this is just basically, it's a storage silo for your goods that you're going to need for farming. So in here you can refill the silo. You can put in lime, liquid fertilizer, seeds, herbicide, and solid fertilizer. All the stuff you can put in here, which is very nice. And you can get out everything from right here. So it's nice. It's just a little silo that you can purchase and fill up as needed. And now we'll continue down the road. Coming up here to my left is our next point of interest. This is going to be the third farm that we've come across here. So right here is where we'll stop. Take a look at the map. We're here at this placeable area, came down to the seed silo, and then down here, a little bit further, to farmland number 25. Purchase this for $137,400. We'll do so. And now you can, whoops, and now you can see that some triggers show up. We do have a sleep trigger and a little bit of garage storage right here, as you can see. You can open this up. But the sleep trigger is around the backside right here. And then way over here is the only other thing on this farm other than storage that we're going to take a look at. Right over here is the cow barn. Milk trigger here, feed trigger, as well as the straw trigger right there. Slurry trigger right there. Water trigger, and room for 140 cows. And that's everything for this area. Like I said, a lot of storage. That's really about it. Gonna hop back in the truck. And we're gonna head down to the next point of interest. Just down the road over here, coming up on our right. Okay, and right here, if we come to a stop, this is going to be farm number 4. We came down directly here. Farmland number 22 for $35,008. Go ahead and purchase. And the only thing we have here is a sheep barn. We have room for 500 sheep here, and our input for feed is right there, and our output for wool is right there. And now going to our last point of interest, continuing further south. You can see in the distance there is the biogas. So we'll stop right here. Open the gate. Now that we're at the biogas plant, we'll come around right over here. You can purchase it for $500,000. And our solid input here, liquid input here, and liquid output, aka digestate, right here. And that is it. That is everything to show here on MF Farms, also known as Millennial Farms. Now it's time to render my opinion and let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. I'm going to come right out and say it. Love it. Absolutely love this map. It definitely has the vibes of it being, at minimum, touched by Celobuki, which Celobuki is one of my favorite map makers. Mapper's Paradise makes great maps all by themselves. You can just definitely tell where everybody kind of contributed. Now, I'm less familiar with the third map maker, TheSuBBie, but one of those that I'm loving this. I love this map for FS19. Now, I will say that this definitely does seem to be a step backwards from FS19, but only in the sense that FS19 had a lot of these little quirks and features and Easter eggs that were kind of put into the map that really almost detracted away from the sense of farming and farming simulator. This one, on the other hand, feels like a more big boy, a more grown-up version of Farming Simulator, of this map. So, for an example, in the kind of east corner of the FS19 map, there was a chicken barn, like a chicken coop. It was out in the middle of the woods, and you'd go back there, and there was a rumor that it was haunted. Well, if you opened up the grain bin for the chickens, all of a sudden a little ghost would appear and was like, boo, kind of thing. And again, it was fine. It was, funny, and again, another little Easter egg kind of thing. This one doesn't have a chicken barn as far as I can tell. I've been around, bought a lot of the farmlands. I've seen nothing. And there's none of these little Easter eggy kind of things that are hiding around. Down in the bottom, I think it was the bottom right-hand corner, the southeast corner of the map, in the kind of creek area, there was, I believe there was like wheelbarrows or something that was in like the creeks and river that was along the farm edge there. And if you walked over to it, it would start playing a message and stuff like that. Again, it was just little things like that. But again, it just kind of detracted from the farming simulator style, map, whatever you want to call it, that kind of what the game is supposed to be about, and made it into a more almost cartoonish. I don't mean that in a bad way. It was still a great map. I absolutely loved the FS19 version of it. This one, though, like I said, it just feels grown up. It feels like it's made for Farming Simulator, with the only exception being, in my opinion, the kind of treasure hunt that it takes you on. But it doesn't make it to where it just like completely detracts from the whole Farming Simulator experience. It's just kind of something that's in there and that you can decide to do or decide not to do. But all in all, this map is awesome. I think it's got an amazing color palette. The kind of elevation and undulations that are on this map are very nice. The kind of nice rolling hills that are in the fields, that are on the farm and whatnot, are absolutely amazing. It is absolutely built for a wide range of equipment, from medium to extremely large. You've got these kind of dedicated lanes to get to and from some of these fields, which is really nice. I mean, and look at this. The fields are absolutely massive, and you've got some of these contracts out here that are going to be huge payouts. This one here is a silage contract, $86,000 silage contract. Imagine the amount of bales that you'll have left after you do this. Farmland number 2 is, which one is this? Or field number 2 is this one right here. This is going to be a massive contract, and you can see it gives you all the pretty decent equipment. I mean, it's not the biggest though. I'm noticing it's using the Pottinger equipment, so this one's going to take you a while. It does swath and all that stuff, so you're not going to have to use that swathing equipment right there, but you'll be able to bale and wrap and do all that stuff and take all the bales out, but you're going to have tons of bales left over when everything's said and done. So it's nice. It's a very, very nice map, and again, it just feels like it has grown up. It has matured into something special, very, very special. And again, you get tons of these massive barns where all your equipment's kind of stored away and tucked away. I mean, you're going to be able to store a lot of stuff here. And I love that the kind of productions that were implemented for the drying silo here. The previous version attempted to have something in the realm of a drying silo kind of thing, but it was basically a bunch of buttons, if I remember right. It was just a bunch of buttons that would make noises. I don't remember for consoles, because that's what I was playing on, was a console. I don't remember if it actually had any kind of functionality. I don't really think it had any kind of thing other than some lights, some things. But I do remember the silo system itself was extremely overly complicated, because you had to activate some things in order to make the output work, in order to make everything kind of function the way that it was supposed to function. But the drying was just kind of aesthetic. Now it's actually got something to do with, creating a new product, which is awesome. And it's just straightforward. It's a nice little thing. You could, in the previous one, you could go into this little cubby, this shed here, and turn things on, turn them off. You don't get to turn things on and off here. You just kind of use the production point and do your thing. But yeah, it's just one of those kind of really nice looking map, and a nice functioning map too. I do like this little sign here where they say that small sign with the hand is not me waving at you. It's telling you to stop, turn around, and leave. Entering my property without an official appointment means that you are stalking and have now become one of those people we normally want to see get locked up. Go home, and if I want to meet you, I will call you. I mean, that's funny. That is really funny, and something I could absolutely see, because this is basically based off a real life farm and a real life YouTuber, if I'm not mistaken, who I'm sure has gotten many people just showing up randomly at their farm unannounced and uninvited. So that's honestly a sign that I could see myself putting out if people were just showing up at my property unannounced and uninvited. I think that's absolutely hilarious. Not for the real life implications of just random people showing up, but that somebody actually put that in the game, because I'm sure there's something like that in real life, or at least some kind of reasonable facsimile of it. So again, all in all, love this map. What would I give this map? 0 to 5 scale? I'd give this a 5. I would give this a 5 all day, every day. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's got tons of potential to do stuff with. You've got stuff that you can build out and make into other farms. You can buy the other farms. You can tear things down. You can add things up. I mean, just tons of stuff you can do. And just like every Celobuki map that's out there, I know that's not solely created by Celobuki, but with Celobuki, you get all the kind of other production points and all that stuff, all the different products that can go in, all the different products that can be created, all that stuff. And then you got Mapper's Paradise, who makes very nice, visually stunning maps, and you look around and that's what you got here. You got a very nice, visually stunning map. You also get the specific kind of additions to the map. You get the soybeans that grow in a row that produce soybean straw. All those little nice little tidbits and touches that are not available on every single map. It's very much specified to certain maps, and this one definitely has it. So all in all, I love it. I absolutely love it. Give it a shot and see what you think, because yeah, this is going to have a lot of stuff to do. It is not as involved though as, like, say, Alma, Missouri, that Celobuki has done. Again, this is Mapper's Paradise alongside Celobuki, but Alma, Missouri has a lot more production points and a lot more things. This one's kind of toned down, but it has that very nice feel to it. So it's almost kind of a nice blend of, let's say, Welker's Farm meets Alma, Missouri. It's as if those two married, and this is what it produced. You know, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's kind of the best of both worlds. The simplicity and real life farm experience of Welker's meets the very nice, clean, and kind of beefed up production wise of Alma, Missouri. Again, I think it's great. It's the best of all worlds, and check it out. And see what you think of it, because I love it. I think that many others will love it too. But I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things. The algorithms enjoy you doing. The show is engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.